Howdy, y'all. Welcome back. I'm out of hibernation, so here we go. All right, we're working on this back wall here in the master bedroom, and these two outlets were hot wired. I unhooked them from my unsafe rat's nest over here, and we're going to permanent wiring here. But I'm going to add a in-wall heater for supplemental heat because I just have the one unit head unit for the mini split, so it doesn't always stay as warm back here as it needs to. So we'll put the wall heater in. I'm going to put it either in where that plug is or on the other side of this 2x4, trying to decide. So obviously I'll be taking that outlet out. I might, if I put the heater here, maybe I'll put that outlet here and then move that one over. But I do have a plug on that wall, so maybe I'll just take this one out and then actually move this one over here. But I don't know. We'll see what happens when I get to taking things apart and putting it back together. Then I have to put a little 2x4 brace here, and then there's a little teeny hole here and one over there for the leg bolts to go through the subfloor into the hangers on the outside to tie the house to the frame. So we'll put those in before I cover this all up with vapor barrier or insulation vapor barrier and the permanent run of the electrical. And then when I put the heater box in over here, then I'll run a little wire up and put a little box here for a thermostat. This does come with a thermostat, but it's just here, not like a upper mounted one. So for now, I'll just have it in there for a future thermostat switch because I don't have the fancy one at this time. Yeah, so we'll just work on that. So I drilled the holes for those outriggers, but the bolts they're best for going through a 1x4, so I had to use those little drills there to just make an indent so the carriage bolts will go through there. And here we're just taking out the temporary hot wires I had so I could have some electricity and live somewhat normally in there. But anyway, just trying to figure out where to put the in-wall heater there, and that's where I'm putting the thermostat so you don't have to bend down to change the temperatures in there. And yeah, so that's just knocking out the wire to come in there, mounting it, and I decided to sit there and contemplate how this works for like 10 minutes. Literally like a couple minutes, so I wouldn't spared you from that. But yeah, just trying to figure it out. And then I realized that, probably best to put the drywall up first and then mount that tin piece in after the fact, because it has flanges on the top and bottom that go on the outside of your drywall. So anyway, just running the hot wire into the box above there for the thermostat, and then a wire down that will go into the heater box itself. So, and now I did decide to put another power outlet there on the right, just under the window. I was contemplating not doing that since, I'm not sure if anything will be ever used there, but who knows. Better to have it now and never use it than not have it and then wish you did. Yeah, just roughing it in there and putting the Rockwell back in. And I love this stuff because it's really easy to cut around boxes and whatnot, and just using knives or saws or whatnot. And so just figuring out how to insulate around where the heater will be. And yeah, I just had to drill a little hole around here to fish wire around it. The back right end there's the hole there on the right, but it's solid after that for another 2x4. So I had to do some drilling to fish it around, but it wasn't that big of a deal. So we got that done. And then right here, I have just a little about a 1 inch by 1/2 inch piece or 3/4 or whatnot. And that just gives something for the drywall to bite into on that wall that I'm working on. And here, this is technically underlayment for flooring, but it's basically your craft paper with a little bit of, tar paper in the middle, kind of like your craft faced insulation. So I thought it was the same, so I figured I'd get that. And there you can see where I was, dry fitting the heater box in that piece of drywall. So when I get that in there, it will make more sense to do it at this time. And obviously I do adjust it because nothing I cut on the drywall is very good or perfect or whatnot. But anyway, and then putting more of the vapor barrier up on the top. In some states, like I think really humid ones, like maybe Florida, I think you want even less vapor barrier, so you have like flow in between your walls, and so you don't get mold and whatnot. Some places you want impermeable plastic. I think maybe in like the Rust Belt states, New England and whatnot, but out here you want some permeability. I don't know what level it's at, but anyway, we're just going to stop here and give the dog some love because we love our baby. We miss our Penny. But anyway, back to work. So yeah, just working on, well, not back to work. More puppy love. Okay, now back to work. Working on this would be the back shear wall in the bedroom there, and just roughing in electrical and putting the insulation back up. And then this one is the headboard area for the bed, and we're putting the electrical boxes at the nightstand, I guess you would say, end table, or nightstands, I think that's what you want to call them, level, so you can plug in your phones and your clocks and your computer charging things and whatnot, up above and not have to reach below and get all awkward. And then here's another. So this board, it kind of goes behind the 2x4 on this section to have something for the drywall to bite in on that corner. And a little more of the Aquabar vapor barrier, and we'll get drywall. And yeah, and I cut all like I said, a lot of professionals won't do it the way I'm doing it, cutting, measuring and cutting outlet boxes and then hoping it matches up. And I've done okay. Some of them are a little farther apart than I'd like, and then some of them I have to adjust, but it can be hidden by mud and outlet covers and whatnot. But if I had the proper tools, then you can kind of put them in and then use a router bit on a little hand trim router and cut out those holes. But this I do since it's just just a smallish house and won't be needing to do drywall again, so just do it the hard way. But getting it done. So here's the back wall, and then I did kind of mess up on a few spots where you'll see here when I put the drywall up, like, yeah, I should have measured and cut out that corner there for the window, but I do realize that my 2x4s don't match the 8-foot section, so I had to cut the nearest 2x4 that made sense. So it kind of shortened out that area that I had to cut out, but this one's a lot longer. But see, I'm just hand cutting it, and it's drywall. It's not too hard, but should have measured it out and then just used knives to cut it out like I did. So I figured, okay, we'll do that on the top one. A, it's easier to lift up there, and B, just get her done so I don't have to sit there and handsaw. But anyway, there we go on that section. All right, so I did box in this water heater thinking that I'll just access it from the side here, but the water is going to come up through here and go down through here, and the heat tape cord is going to come plugged in there and go underneath. So I do need to actually access it through here, plus well, yeah, the plug or the outlet for this, which is just a box, not a plug, for the main power is going to be like right there. So just need to probably get more access to it. So I'm going to redo this framing here, probably cut it off here like it was, and then have an open spot here above the heater stuff for just more closet space, and then have this open up so you can access this. So we'll work on redoing this. All right, I'm used to deconstructing the old house and not the new stuff that I put in, but oh well, we'll take out that little wall, and then this is just going to be a GFCI outlet down there for heat tape that'll go down under the house to go on the main water line to keep it from freezing. And then that box will be the the 10 gauge wire that plugs into the heater. I had to put it up a little higher closer to the ceiling than I'd wanted to because I had some 10 gauge wire that was only like 20-25 feet long, and that stuff's not cheap, so it barely makes it to the main panel, so we had to get it as close as we could. But anyway, we're getting it all snugged up with some drywall in there to just close in everything but the ceiling in this room, except over by the power panel. I do plug that or do that off camera because I don't want you to watch me do that around my insanely unsafe power panel. So anyway, thanks for watching this episode. We'll have more for you, and we'll end it off here with some video clips of Baby meeting a random stray pit bull in the neighborhood, and they got along well. It was around for a couple days, and then its owner decided to keep it on its own property like it was supposed to. But anyway, hope you all liked it. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Hey, don't be peeing on my car. You gotta pee on everything. Why you gotta pee on everything?